What's up guys, Storm here. In today's episode we're going to be making basic mobs, so like another player that follows the player up to a certain distance. So like if he's like 2 tiles away, we want him to follow him. And yeah, showing you where we left off last episode. Basically we loaded a level from creating this, so we set the tiles colors, so like grass is red, etc, etc. Collisions, so the player collides with blocks that you're not meant to walk through and he doesn't go through. Alright, so let's start by going to our entities folder, create a folder and call it mobs. In mobs, create a C# grid and call it follow mob. Inside follow mob we want to, so basically this follow mob doesn't just have to follow the player, it can follow whatever you want it to follow. Come on. So here, let's make a public entity following. And basically we'll do it the basic way first, which, well, later on, after we've done all core gameplay, we'll start adding in pathfinding. Well, when we start doing advanced mobs, we'll start adding in like A* pathfinding. Alright, so basically if following, also give it a following distance, so you can change this however much you want. Public in float distance. So if following dot rigid body 2D dot transform dot position dot y is greater than rigid body 2D dot, you need to be lowercase r, rigid body 2D dot transform dot position plus distance plus distance. Then we do this and copy that 3 times and change these two to x's and make that smaller than, and this one smaller than, and make this one take distance and this one take distance. So in here we want rigid body 2D dot transform dot position plus equals vector 3 dot up times speed times time dot delta time. Here we want rigid body 2D dot transform dot position plus equals vector 3 dot down times speed times time dot delta time. Here we want rigid body 2D dot transform dot position plus equals vector 3 dot right times speed times time dot delta time. And here we want rigid body 2D dot transform dot position plus equals vector 3 dot left times speed times time dot delta time. Let's check this out. Sorry, this is to be dot x dot x dot y dot y. Sorry about that. Oh, make sure this extends entity. That should work. In your sprite sheet, create a new 32 by get this 32 by 32 here and delete that. bring it down. And you can draw whatever you want for this. This is just so we can just test later. Alright, so and let's get green eyes. Alright, so we can save that. We go back into Unity and we go to resources, sprite sheet, and we want to Sprite Editor, and we want to delete these ones and make this 32 by 32. If you're wondering why we delete those, I explained that in the very first episode when we created the player. Alright, and then we can apply that. Now the player does some weird thing because we've deleted 3 of the sprites before the player. So the player's index was, let's just say, like 32y, we'll just say 5y and 2x. These are just example numbers, and because we deleted 3 tiles, they get like shifted like along. So like if the player was here and we deleted 2 tiles here, we shift whatever here, so we deleted 2 tiles on the x, so it goes xx. That makes sense. So we delete, yeah, it's hard to get. You don't really need to understand that. Just change that back to player and he'll be all good. If we create a empty and we call this follower mob, and then we can give it sprite sheet, and if we just set this to 0, 0, 1, actually made that 2. No, made that 0 and make this 2, and then we can set this to, scroll down till you find your thing. Here's our follower mob. I'm just going to copy the box collider and paste that on, and I'll also copy the rigid body and paste that on. Yeah, so we can go to our code, our mobs, put our follower mob script here, get our player, and we'll distance to be 2, and we'll make this one's guy's speed 4, which is 1 less than what the player is. Yeah. If we go to prefabs, drag our follower mob in, up here click apply as well, and so our follower mob should follow the player. One thing really quickly, if we go to level and we do public, where is it? Public entity. So we'll have our main player here, but then we'll have entity this equals new entity entities. Basically, here in our for loop where we create this, we want to do for int I equals 0, I equals smaller than entities dot length I plus plus. Right. We want to do entities I dot transform dot position equals npos. We'll create that now. Equals npos vector 2 npos equals vector 2 equals pos. Then we want npos dot x plus equals I plus 1. So that's just setting all of these guys spawn to be 1 next to the players. Oh, all the ones that you add. So we'll just call these friendly entities, because we don't really want bad entities spawning right next to the player. Or, well, these are just entities to spawn next to the player that you want to spawn next to the player. Alright, so if we test this in level manager, we make friendly entities, we want to make it 1, we set a follower mob to that, we save, and we click play. Now, what happened is here, we need to set this to be 20 as well. So basically it draws on top of everything else. So there we have it. So you see he follows the player, he is slower than the player, and eventually catches up if we walk off. How long has this episode been? Alright, so thank you for watching this episode. Next episode I am aiming to make health and mobs that can hurt you if they get too close. Thank you for watching. I've been Storm, and I'll see you next time.